Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison, and today we'll be looking at the markets, looking at Bitcoin price. Is it going to fall below 8,000? It did kind of briefly do it kind of last night, but is it going to fall way below $8,000? And we'll look at that as well. I've just looked at a new video by Alessio Rastani, and he's talking about line breaks. I've never seen that before. I've never seen him talking about it before either, so we'll look at that as well and see why that could be interesting. It might be interesting as well. We'll look at the markets overall as well, a couple of news stories to look at as well for you, and obviously the best part about it is talking to you guys as well. So welcome to the show, really appreciate you being here. I'm going to see if we're live or not first of all, just make sure everything is up and running okay. Seems to be, well, that's not a very good picture. You may have to change the settings. Quality 720. Yeah, you might have to change the settings. You might not want to change the settings. Okay, so where are we just now? Just jump over to the chat area, see if anybody's in. Oh, why can't I get to the chat area? Okay, we've got a couple of people in, not that many people in this morning, so we'll just dive over and see who is in the house. We have Stephen King is in, Gordy Boy is in, Mark Innes is in, although there's more people in. If you're in just now, just leave a comment, just let me know you're kind of watching just now. It says 9 people watching at the moment. Mark Innes, I've just said hello Stephen, the brilliant team. Morning. Okay, so hopefully we'll get some more people. I've just literally posted the notice that I'm live just now, so hopefully we'll get more people in. Okay, we'll go to the market, see what's happening in the marketplace. Okay, Bitcoin, as we know, kind of fell below the $8,000, $1,000. It fell below $8,000, but quickly came back up again. Is it going to bounce from here, or is it going to kind of fall way below the $8,000? It's currently at, according to CoinMarketCap, 8,194 aggregated price, but we'll look at that a little later on as well. Look at the charts. Market capitalization overall is $218 billion. Bitcoin dominance is 67.5% just now. Winners and losers. Centrality up 49%. IOST is up 10%. Dragon Coins is up 10%. That's the only 3 in double-digit greens. We have around about 25% in the green, 75% in the red. Not any double-digit reds. Today, Energy, Quant, Rift Token, Metaverse, ETP, BitCapital, Bender, Beam, Ardor, Zilliqa, Holochain, all down as well. But as are most of them, we'll look at the Bitcoin price, or Satoshi value, not the Bitcoin price. Satoshi value, much the same, probably about 40% in the green. Look at the overall. Cryptocurrency market on CoinMarketCap, we've now got 2,939 listed cryptocurrencies. Who has done well? That's traded over $10,000 worth over the last 24 hours. We'll just have a wee look just now. PAC Global on 69,000 volume, up 70%, market cap of 3.4 million. CryptoAds Marketplace, up 69% on 13,000 volume and market cap of 43,000. Yeesh. That would be amazing. So that means if it 1000x'd, it would still only be, what, 43 million market capitalization if it went 1000x from here. So it'd still be considered a small cap. So might be worth looking at. 13,000 volume, not a lot, but for a small coin like this, it could be something. Dentacoin up 66% on 391,000 volume, 18 million market cap. So Soma 292,000 market cap, up 56% on 303,000 volume. Now that would be one to look at as well. I don't know if we've seen Soma before. Centrality is up there, 52% on 90,000 volume, 52 million market cap though. What else has done well with the regards to volume and small market cap? Nothing. 175 Sovereign, 322,000 volume up, and it's got a market cap of 175,000. Dignity, we've looked at that kind of way ages ago, 1.2 million, up 26% on 162,000 volume. Right, what was this? Soma we were looking at, 303,000 volume, kind of way down from where it used to be, was $1.14, now 2 cents. LA token, don't know if it's known for wash trading, LA token, but seems awfully high volumes there. Social, are they on social? September 16th, June, so June 15th then September 16th, red flag there. Okay, we'll look at crypto bubbles, what's happening over the last 24 hours. Kind of mostly in the red there. If you take a kind of big picture view of it, we're mostly in the red. There are a couple of greens. FCT, Factum, I heard about that for a while. IOST, BAT is doing well as well. SXP, Swipe, we've seen that a couple of times now. Over the last hour, what's happening there? Mostly in the green. Here we can see some of the big followers. Energy, Hot, or Hall Chain, Luna, CRO, SNX. Strat is kind of making a move again. It's up 17% in the week. XEM has moved up over the last hour. Crypterium is up 68% on the year, 63% in the month, 2% on the hour. So bigger picture on the last hour, it looks okay just now. The fear and greed index is at 30 just now, so we're going towards extreme fear just now. So we're still in the fear zone, not extreme fear, but we have been in extreme fear over the last kind of week or so. So we're still in that kind of fear zone. See if anybody else has joined us. Well, Pete Van Den Wright is in the house, Mitch Dycher, Mac Pollen, G-Slick is in, B is in the house this morning, good to have you back. Crypto Dread is in. Another good day with some great knowledge from Steve. Another good day, take it as meant to be. G-Slick, smash that like button, thanks very much. Andreas is in the house, Jason Clayton is back with us, good to see you here. Okay, Bitcoin chart, what's going on with Bitcoin? 8,123 is kind of going sideways just now after the big fall from 10,500 or 10,300. So are we going further down from here? It looks as if we are. On the daily, we're not looking good. On the hourly, we're not looking really good. So if we're going down the smaller time frames, we're not looking that good. It's in and out in the hourly, obviously. 15-minute chart is still not looking good on that, short-term wise. Although we are kind of sidling up the ways, but it looks overall as if we could be going back down. But you just never know with crypto. You can't predict it. T is not going to be able to tell you. It's just going to give you an idea. But it looks as if it could be still going down further. Now we spoke about yesterday as well. We looked on the what chart was it? Was it this one? Yeah, so we showed the triangle. I don't know if it was that one or BTC USD. Yeah, we had the triangle up yesterday, and we said if it goes below 8,230, I think it's going to fall to 8,000. It did fall to 8,000. I'm going to move this up. It fell to 7,000. No, it didn't. It fell to 7,986 yesterday before bouncing back up. So 8,000 is still support, but if it breaks $8,000, then I think we're going to be in trouble if it breaks this $8,000 barrier, because it's knocked on the door a few times now of the 8,000. So we have to, I'm just going to change that. Settings, and go to 8,000. Okay, so that's dead on 8,000. So you can see here we bounced off that a couple of times, round about the 8,000 mark, and that's a psychological barrier as well. And if we go below that, then it looks as if we could go down further, and talking a kind of possibly a big drop further as well if we go below 8,000. Maybe down to the 7,000 kind of level. But it could bounce from here again big time. Coming in for the weekend, usually a time for a drop in the Bitcoin price, and coming up for the weekend. So I need to wait and see. If the 4 hourly crosses over, then that would be an extremely bullish sign for me. Not extremely bullish, but it'd be a bullish sign for me that things are starting to turn around. But at the moment, we're still very kind of precarious just now on that knife's edge, and it's that 8,000 kind of level we're looking at here. Go on the daily, look at the bigger picture. You can see 8,000 much more prominent here. At these levels here. And we'll just zoom in. 8,000 becomes much more prominent there with the bounces off. So the more times, this tends to happen in trading as well, the more times a price hits a level, i.e. 8,000, the more likely it is to fall through it or push through it. So in this case, it might fall through the 8,000 level. So it's 1, 2, kind of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 7th time. If it falls down again to the 8,000 level, almost certainly we're probably going to break down below $8,000. And it's looking likely just now, to be honest. I'm not trying to be kind of Mr. Doom, but it just looks like that. That's what it looks like just now. And as I said, I was watching Alessio Rastani. I keep saying Rastafani. I think it's Rastafarian. I'm getting mixed up with, but Rastani is Alessio Rastani. I need to get that in my head. And he was talking about a line chart. So typically we use candles. If we go into the charts, we use a candle chart, but it's talking about line break chart. So if we go to line break, and what we'll do is we'll get rid of the EMAs. And we'll put up here, I think he uses a 21 EMA. We'll change this, the settings here. Oh no, just, yeah, we'll change the settings. And we'll go to inputs. I think he's using the 21 EMA. And this is the MA that we're using. So what Alessio Rastani is talking about, unlike Alessio Rastani, is very kind of level-headed, very kind of cool, calm, and seems to be objective. Seems to be objective about the stock markets and kind of Bitcoin as well. So he's saying the last time we had a break here, when it fell, it kind of was on its parabolic rise, was in 2017. So if we look at this, it's saying history is kind of repeating itself. It's saying this parabolic rise from here, from 3,500 all the way up to 12,899, and then we had the kind of breakdown of around 26% before going up, and then we fell further from what we were previously. So we can see here, we'll just zoom in. So we can see this fall from the top to the bottom there, where it breaks the 21 EMA. This is not the EMA, it's actually an MA, but we'll change it to the EMA just for, take the MAs off, and we'll put the EMA on. We'll change the settings to 21 for the moment, and we'll keep that as red just now. So parabolic rise, fell down, just touched the 21 EMA, went up again, and then fell way below it. And it's saying the last time that happened was in 2017. So if we zoom over here, we can see an identical pattern here. Parabolic rise up to 20,000, touched the 21, bounced again, and then came all the way down. So it touched there at the top, came down 32%, which is what we have been very similar just now, and then kind of bounced up and then fell 60% before kind of rising and coming down again. And if that were the case, so that means we're really falling from here 60%. So we're talking about 60% drop. We're talking about to the 4,700 level. So I don't subscribe to history repeating itself. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, whereby if enough people start saying, oh, history is repeating itself, we start to look at the charts, we start to pay attention to it, and then a lot of people are just going to say, we better sell our Bitcoin because history is repeating itself because of 2017. I don't subscribe to that at all, because fundamentally things have really changed since kind of 2017. Not that much of Bitcoin, to be honest, but I just don't subscribe to that. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if enough people are doing it, then it becomes true. So we have to kind of look at that and just pay attention to it. So that's what kind of Alessio Rastani is saying just now. With me, it looks as if it's going to fall further. If we break that 8,000, that is a critical level, this $8,000 level. If it does break below that and stays below it, it doesn't bounce, then we're kind of stumped, to be honest. It looks as if we're going to fall down to, I would imagine, around about the 7,600 level first, and then further. But hopefully it might bounce from here. We're getting a slight bounce, a very slight bounce. If we look at the hourly instead, we can see the slight bounce here from the 8,000 level mark, and we've gone up percentage. I keep getting these things. 2% or something. Kind of went up. So hopefully we can continue to go up. And this is on the hourly, but slim hopes. I think there's more of a percentage chance that it's going to go down below the 8,000. But we'll see. We'll see. So it'd be good to know your thoughts as well. Chris Moll is in the house. G-Slick is saying, Litecoin please. I'll take a look at that. Imran has joined us. Morning Steve, have you seen Charles Shu eating video? Cardano is missing its Shelley update till next year. Not good investors getting pit. I haven't seen that. So Cardano's missing its Shelley update till next year. Not good investors getting pissed. Right, we need to take a look at Cardano chart as well. BTC is going to hit 4,500. Been mentioning that since it hit 14k. Well, that's kind of what Alicia Rodastani is kind of saying, it if history does repeat itself. But we'll need to wait and see. Stephen King, how did you vote in the poll for BTC end of October? Me, 8,000. For the end of October, I voted for 14,000. So I put a poll in the kind of groups, and just to say, what did you think BTC was going to hit? We'll look at the poll actually and see what the results were. We'll go to the free group. There's only 43 votes. Below 5,000, 2%. 5,000, 5%, 6,000, 5%, 8,000 seem to be the main consensus, between 8 and 10,000. So 62% of the votes went to between 8 or 10,000. 12% said 12,000, 7% said 14, 7% said 16,000, 0% said above 16. So a couple of people said 16. How many would that be? 1, 2, 3. 3 people said 16,000. I said kind of 14,000 for the end of October. So we'll need to wait and see. It's been very optimistic, as I am. But yeah, that was the result of the vote. Bernard Ronald is in the house. Welcome to you. Mark Paulin, BTC right now looking too much like 2017. I know it's 2 years ago, but still just look at the market and do the same up and down again, but not enough. Yeah, there is a correlation between now and kind of 2017. Get rid of these. Between now and 2017, that's on the hourly chart. We'll go on the daily. So we didn't quite reach the levels of 2017, which was 19,000, 20,000 obviously, around about there. Didn't quite reach that, and so there's no, you can't say there's a direct correlation, but there seems to be a lot of similarities between what's happening now. But I still don't, it's not that I don't pay attention to it, because you have to pay attention to it because other people do, but I don't buy into the fact that history is going to repeat itself just because it looks similar. That's really what we're saying. It looks similar, history must be repeating itself. I just don't subscribe to that. It's just my thing though. I know a lot of people do, and market does go in cycles. Is it on a 2-year cycle? Is it on a 2-year cycle? If that was the case, would we have kind of had this parabolic rise up to here and then down again? Did it happen? So 2 years, 2015, a rise, that's 2013, went all the way down at 2015, up for 2018, down 2019. So if it was on a cycle, we'd be on the up cycle just now, if we're saying history does repeat itself. So there's a lot of things you can find in the charts, and depending on your bias. So if I'm biased towards the downside, I could find a lot of things in the charts to say history is repeating itself, is going to go down to about 4,500. Or I could find a lot of things say history is going to repeat itself, is going to go up to 30,000. So there's biases either way. We'll have to remember where there's bias in the charts as well when you're looking at it, because you can find things for either side of the case. So I just do short-term charts. That's all you can do. It's like living just now. All you have just now is this very moment. You can't predict the future. You can't say what's going to happen in the future. You can't change the past. You can to a degree, but right now is all you have. So this is why I look at it kind of short-term charts, and this is why when I make the calls, it's only for 10 days because it's short-term as well. Okay, but on the hourly, it's looking a wee bit positive. So we can find some positives in the charts just now. BTC chart is like a slow motion video of a ball being bounced up and down. The ball has topped and it's on a downward trajectory till it hits the floor of 4,500. I hope that's not the case. Imran, I can see where you're going with that. I can see why you might think that as well, and why the charts could suggest that as well. I just hope it doesn't happen. MacPawn, did you read my mind, Steve? Or do you just like all traders should read the market? Or you just do like all traders should do and read the market? I think it's reading it in this moment in time. I think that's all we can do. David D is in the house, 2:30 AM, checking in from the USA today. Excellent. Excellent what you're doing over there, David. But 2:30 in the morning, what are you doing up, man? But it's good to see you, buddy. G-Slick, Digibyte working on Face ID on DigiID. They've been doing that for a while now. So that's good. Still good they're working on that. Imran, hitting 4,500 would actually be a good thing. It would mark a solid higher high above its low of 3K back in March. The thing is, I would be worried that if it does go below 8,000, which it looks as if it's going to, then a lot of people are going to start to panic. And they're going to panic, and then I think it's going to hit the 7,000, and then it could, if it does go down towards the 4,500 level, which we are here, around about this level, then I still think people are going to panic and they're going to call the sky is falling and everything, Bitcoin has ended, Bitcoin, that's over for cryptocurrencies, and it'll still go down further. We could get 100% retracement to kind of February 2019 at 3,500 or 3,000, the 3,000 level. So that's what I'd be worried about if it did fall to those levels. XRP taking #1 spot very soon. B, indeed, XRP is still going up. So we'll take a look at a couple of the charts just now before we go into some of the kind of news stories. So LTC, somebody said, LTC, BTC. So on the daily, we're still not going up, but we've got 3 green candles in a row for Litecoin. This is on the Satoshi value. That's 697,000 Satoshi, LTC, USD. You can see that's obviously kind of different. That's purely because of the Bitcoin price though. But $56.77. So on the daily, there's no kind of respite there. On the 4 hourly, it's coming up to meet it. It's gone sideways. And if we look at that on the hourly, we're just skirting and dancing and flirting with the 50 EMA just now. So it'd have to break $58 if it was going to make upwards momentum there. But again, it depends on the Bitcoin price when you're looking at the dollar value. If Bitcoin was to go down to $7,000, then obviously the dollar value of Litecoin is going to go down as well. So that's Litecoin. What else were we looking at? Cardano. ADA. 472. It is just now. On the hourly chart, it's kind of, again, it's skirting and flirting with it. Skirting? Don't mean skirting. 472 on the 4 hour chart. Looks like it's, again, it's just precarious. Precarious just now. XRP, BTC, I think that's actually doing okay when I was looking this morning. Yep, 3,069 Satoshi. Just now, 4 hour chart looks really good. Actually, 2,500 up to 3,259. Daily chart, I've crossed over already. Coming off its all-time low, or close to its all-time low. or 2-year low, we'll say, at 2,377. So XRP doing well, doing okay at the moment, not doing well, it's not doing brilliant. But XRP, if it breaks 3,336, could be going up to the next level of 3,800, then 4,300, onwards and upwards. I think it's going to be a slow and steady rise for XRP, and then we're going to get bursts of activity where it just kind of goes up 10, 20, 30%, comes down a wee bit, goes up 10, 20, 30%. I think that's how it's going to go with XRP. Hopefully that's how it goes. If you're in XRP just now, still out because of, well, because of my stupidity, actually, because I'm in Wink just now, which I'm gutted about. Right, G-Slide capacity looking good on their luxury items, icons. I'm seeing capacity, is that how you spell it? PundiX going to burn another $4 million in NPXS and NPXS EM with new dApps coming on XWallet. So we're talking about PundiX this morning and how it's just the price is just going down and down and down. I still don't understand. What I don't understand is all these kind of bloody tokens I've got as well. And kind of FX, NX, NPXS, EM, and all those. I think that's kind of confused a lot of kind of investors as well, and just kind of people just going, I don't know what's going on, and they're just staying out of it. I think that's partly to do with the price kind of falling as well. But I still think it's a good company. I still think it's a decent team as well. They've got products out there. They're making money, and don't understand what the hell they're doing, to be honest. Imran, I would ask you to tell your viewers at moments like this to stay calm. Don't make student crazy revenge trades. Take your time. This boat has gone out to sea only to come back. Oh, we've said that. I say that almost on a daily basis. There's no point in looking at this market just now. And if it does fall, if the Bitcoin price does fall, obviously you take it with a pinch of salt. You know it's going to come back. So think about the future. And I've been saying this for, well, months. I said it almost on a daily basis. Think about where the Bitcoin price is going to be, where you think it's going to be in 2 years' time. Now, if you don't think the price of Bitcoin is going to be like $100,000 or $50,000 even in 2 years' time, there's no point in being here. There's no point in being in this space. Unless you're a day trader, obviously, and you're just looking to kind of make money as well. But if you believe in Bitcoin and its 2 year time, 2 years kind of price, if you project into the future, 1 year price from today, 2 year price, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, where's it going to be in those times? That's what to think about when the Bitcoin price drops. Obviously, if you're in Bitcoin, you could sell it and go into USDT as well, and just wait for another opportunity to come back in. In that case, you just look on the 4 hourly chart and see when it crosses over the 50 EMA. Good time to get in. When it crosses down, possibly a good time to get out. Just now, BTC is on the downward side on the 4 hour chart, on the daily chart as well. So that would just be, and it crossed down over at 10,300. So that would have been a good time just to get out, just to stay in USDT. Good time to get back in. If you're looking to get back in, if you're looking for a re-entry, is when it crosses up over the 50 EMA. And that'd be a good time to get in. That's the 7 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA. A good time to get back in. Until that happens, I would try and sit on your hands. And possibly if you're looking for an entry point, try and sit on your hands just now and wait and see what plays out with here. It might take another $300-400 before it crosses over, but it's well worth it because it could fall way below the $8,000 here. So that's what I would be doing. I definitely wouldn't be panicking. We've been here before. How many times? Goodness knows how many times over the last couple of years. From 20,000 to 3,000. Up and down, up and down, up and down, but it's on its way, it's still on its way up. However, look at this. Weekly, up, 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 up. These are only little blips. That's what to think about. And if you project that into the future, then you're going to have kind of more of the same. So what you're going to have in the future, if we can continue the same pattern, you're going to have the ups, the downs, the ups, the downs, not sideways or back the ways, ups, downs, and that's up to 420,000. That's kind of how it's going to play out. You're going to get all the ups and downs in the future as well. You're going to get all of that. But predominantly, we're up. And this is on a weekly chart. We're still in a bull market cycle. Short term, we're in a bear market. Short term. But overall, if you look at the weekly, we're parabolically bull just now. So it's going to play out for the next few years like that. So I'm saying there's 2028. What's that? About 2050 or something. It's going to be 500,000. But that's just a squiggle. You get my point. Hopefully you get my point. David D awake, still in London time, in the US for some board meetings today, and then to holiday home to Central America next week. Probably won't catch many more live streams with time change. Oh, no bother. No bother at all, David. It's good that you're going to get a break as well. Continue to like the narrative around BAT. Yeah, I do like BAT as well. I'm liking what BAT are doing. BAT has gone up. Technically has gone up as well. And that's the weekly. We'll go into the daily. So BAT is looking really good. And I've got a few news stories out as well with BAT. Good news for Brave users, you can finally cash out your basic attention token through Uphold. It looks like, we've seen that before as well. Brave's R&D team debuts privacy preserving distributed VPN. Brave users can finally cash out the BAT tokens. We kind of know that. I think in BAT tokens, I think I've got about $50 odd worth. So yeah, BAT is looking more and more likely to rise quite significantly, I would imagine. Looking at technicals, looking at the fundamentals as well. We're coming off close to a 2-year low. Not quite a 2-year low, but 1500, and we're coming up. We've got a high of 9,400. It's going to way surpass that in the future, so I like BAT. What is the... I'll just look at the market cap, 253 million. It's still high, on the high side in this kind of today's market, but if we're looking at what they're doing, the number of downloads they're getting as well is just amazing. And the fact that people are collecting cryptocurrency as well is really good. So I do like basic attention token. Imran, Apple CEO Tim Cook says no to crypto, believes tech giants should stay away. Yeah, I seen that news this morning. I didn't think it was big news. It was just somebody with a preference for cryptos. He's saying it should stay cash, or money should stay governmental, under kind of governmental control. So it's just a different mindset. Coinbase enrages crypto community by implementing ridiculous highs. I was kind of pissed off about that news this morning. So we'll look at the news as well. So we've got this. Crypto community by implementing ridiculously high fees for small traders. So I wonder, we've got the high fees. Has it got the chart for here? We should have seen it on Coinbase. Yeah, so it's not got the chart. So the users of Coinbase Pro who trade less than $10,000 worth of crypto will now have to shell out 0.5% in fees. 0.5% is actually really, really high. So 0.5% fees, that applies both for market makers and market takers. Prior to that, the leading exchange only charged 0.15%, which marks a huge update in its fee structure. So I'm just going to see if we can see this chart here. I've got a chart of the fees. And I've been kind of singing the praises for Coinbase for the last year or so, because before that I thought they were just doing... they were just going to die and they were going to fade away, but they came really into the fore and started bringing out kind of new products and services, which I thought was really good, and I've been singing the praises. But this kind of pissed me off, to be honest. Why are they doing this? This is really going to affect the retail market. So if it's under $10,000, 0.5% is steep compared to what it has been. And it's bringing it down for the higher. Obviously, they're trying to entice the institutional investors in, or the higher kind of level traders. 10 million to 50 million, 0.05%, and anything above 50 million is the 0% for the makers, and hardly anything for the kind of takers there as well. So that's going to annoy a lot of retail investors. When I seen that, I thought, why the hell are they doing this? And then when I kind of thought about it, I thought, if you're trading, say, $1,000 worth, you're going to be trading you're going to be getting charged, for the maker and taker, you're going to be getting charged about $5 for $1,000 worth of trade, which on the kind of face of it doesn't sound that much, but compared to what you're getting charged before, $1.50, then you can see it's a 250% increase in the fees for that, which is not good for retail. Yep, PundiX far too complicated. If we don't understand it, what chance have crypto newcomers got for under 25? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I've been in the space for years now, a couple of years now, and I'm thinking, why have all these? And I could look into it and ask the questions and stuff, but just there's a couple of things I've done in the past that because of the outrage, I think they were going to do something else. They're going to have another kind of ICO type fundraising, and that really paid me off at the time. That's when I got out of PundiX and I just thought, no, you've done it wrong there, and that's when I personally got out of PundiX. But they didn't do that because of the outrage that the PundiX community had. So I just don't understand the thinking sometimes. Nils Bull is in the house. Good morning to you. Can you find NPX on Binance? It's gone only on USD, no more on the BTC. It's not on the BTC list, so it's been delisted. And the BTC pairing has been delisted, not PundiX has been delisted, but you can still find it on USDT, and you'll find it on other kind of pairings as well. But PundiX, Dent, Win token, BTT token were all kind of dropped from the BTC pairing on Binance. So there was about 30 of them that were dropped. What was the other news I was going to look at? This, I'm thinking I'm the more and more loving the DeFi space, the more I look at it, and I've seen this from one of the other kind of brilliant, I just love this website, Crypto Briefing. I've shared with you kind of Symmetry Research as well, what they're doing there. Love kind of Symmetry Research. They've got a new token coming out. It's a coin of the month. It's coming out on Tuesday. And they're kind of enticing people. I do like the way they're doing this. It's good marketing, actually. So I got an email yesterday. I'm just going to check the email from Symmetry Research just to say, listen, we've got something coming out on Tuesday that is a brilliant coin. We're going to name it a coin of the month. It's under 2 million market capitalization. We expect it to really go up really high. Symmetry, they didn't tell me obviously what it was. I'm just going to see Symmetry as a daily Bitcoin commentary. So I've got emails coming out, but I got the email yesterday to say, as Crypto Briefing, it was Crypto Briefing. No, I can't find it just now. But I've got the email to say, okay, Symmetry Research is going to come out with the coin of the month, and it could really explode. It's under 2 million market capitalization. So I'm looking forward to that coming out, actually. And that's for Symmetry Research. So you can join down below if you want to. There's a link down below this video to join the Symmetry kind of research. And they do brilliant kind of coins of the month, coins on the move. They do brilliant kind of research into the tokens as well, and the coin of the month is going to be on Tuesday. It comes out on Tuesday, so you've got time to kind of join Symmetry Research. And just to let you know, just to be open and honest, I will get a kind of small percentage for that as an affiliate as well. So what Crypto Briefing are saying, who owns Symmetry Research, is saying, could DeFi be the next Google? I believe it can. The more and more I look at this space, I really like the DeFi kind of sector. Just now, in the near future, decentralized finance may provide a whole host of financial services and products which are currently inaccessible to the vast majority in the world's population. Much as search engines rapidly made the internet indispensable to modern life, smart contracts could be on their way to becoming a cornerstone of modern finance. This is what I truly believe is going to happen. It's just going to revolutionize the way kind of finance is done. DeFi smart contracts currently hold more than $500 million in assets. $500 million, and this is just such a young space just now. That's more than double the amount since the start of the year. So we're talking from January to kind of October, it's doubled in size, and I think it's going to double in size, and it's going to be an exponential rise like that for the DeFi kind of smart contracts and everything that's coming out DeFi as well. So this is what it's like. This is a chart, the TVL, which is a total value locked in USD in DeFi. and it's at 500 million just now. It has been up to 700 million back in July. But I don't know if that's kind of tied to the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin USD value. But at the moment, it's tied at around about $500 million just now. But how many people actually use DeFi applications? Very few people understand Bitcoin, let alone the more complicated digital assets, which I like as well. Perhaps that's why a DeFi portal based out in India has managed to attract investment from some of the largest, kind of most reputable names. And they go on to talk about InstantApp. Announced earlier this week they'd raised 2.4 million in seed money. And they also talk about kind of Maker and this kind of project, this website, DeFi Pulse. So if you go to DeFiPulse.com, you can check out more about kind of DeFi, what it's all about, the projects that are in DeFi. It's not listing every single one of them. It's got about 20 there. It's got the lending platforms, the DEXs, derivatives, payments, and assets as well. But I like what they're doing. I like this website as well. So if you want to know more about DeFi, go over to DeFiPulse.com. I'm not paid to kind of talk about it. I just seen it and thought this actually was quite good. And they've got a DeFi list as well. It shows you all the kind of, well, a lot of the DeFi projects here. And I think, have they got it? No. I thought they had one of the ones listed there I was going to talk about, but it's not, and it's got other kind of details there as well about DeFi. So I would look at that. I think is well worth it. What I was looking at as well is when you're earning income. So you can earn interest if you have a certain number kind of DAI, for example, 10,000 DAI. You could earn interest of 9.36%, which is $78 a month. This is per month. SYSX 8.99%, Compound 8.42%, and U as well 7.93%, but I think the variability is high on that. So it's got certain ones you can have. KNC, I think that's the highest one, is DAI. Maker, no point, that's not a lot. Ogre, BAT, USDC, and DAI. So I think there's a big kind of lot of opportunities here in the DeFi space, and I'll be looking more into the DeFi space and the projects that are up and coming in the DeFi space as well. And so I'm just curious to know what Crypto Briefing what project they have in the DeFi kind of space that's under 2 million that could really kind of explode. So I'm going to be looking for that and doing a bit of detective work over the weekend as well. So definitely worth looking into. That was a Coinbase story. PayPal may ditch Facebook's Libra over regulatory scrutiny report. So more and more kind of companies are kind of talking about pulling out of the Libra project, and PayPal is one of them as well. Other key players are reportedly kind of wavering as well. Visa, MasterCard and Stripe were ensuring Libra did not harm the relationship with regulators. So it could be that Libra just does not happen. There's been a lot of talk about Libra and a lot of scaremongering about Libra as well, from both sides actually. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be an interesting over the next couple of months, and I kind of shared that with you as well. Howdoo are doing fantastic. Howdoo, the Howdoo tokens are doing brilliant just now. So this is on CoinGecko at the moment. Just refresh that, because it went up about 100. They went up at one point over 150%. So they've gone up 109% over the last 30 days. And this is a new Howdoo token. So you have to be very careful. If you've got the old one, you cannot trade it for the new one just now until there's an 80% consensus when everything has been swapped, because it's all been swapped over just now. And there's still not hit that 80% yet, but it will do, and it's only done on X markets. If you've not seen about this, you need to join the kind of Howdoo group and find out all about it, because there's only a certain period of time you're going to be able to swap it over, although I would imagine it'll give you a couple of weeks leeway as well. But it's either going to happen on, I think, on October the 20th, or when the 80% consensus is reached, whichever one comes first. So we'll see. I would imagine there's going to be a drop in price. I think there's going to be a drop in price, but it then might go up again. This is the first time I think it's reached the price I actually paid for an ICO, but I can't actually trade anything just now. I still can't trade anything because it's not been swapped over yet. And I would imagine a lot of other people are feeling that way as well. But it's got a market cap of 27 million. It would be ranked, I think it's 112 just now. So I still high hopes for Howdoo. I think they're going to do really well. I'm on the platform just now. I've not contributed any content or any major content. So I'm on the platform. I've downloaded the app. So download the app as well. I've got details below this video as well about the Howdoo swap and what you can do as well. But definitely download the app. You can get it on Android and iOS as well. So definitely do that. So check out that. I think that was the news stories that I'd kind of looked at. I wonder if there's any new interesting ones. I'll get rid of that. I'll show all. Coinbase will soon be re-enabling faster payments for UK customers. Issuing monies for government, not private firms. Apple CEO, we've seen that as well. Mark Zuckerberg testified before US committee on Libra by January. Testified to what? I don't understand. The future of Windows 10X, Joe Screen, blah blah blah, to merge into $2 billion company. Okay, so that's that. Okay, we'll get back to chat. DeFi very early, Google-like interface. Yes. Yeah, I think it's going to, and DeFi is going to, it's just going to be one of the areas that's going to revolutionize kind of the world as we, or the way we know kind of finance is done. And DeFi is going to be the most lucrative area in crypto. Yes, definitely. That's Imran Chowdhury. As it's connected to finance, that has a real use case. Yep. Daniel LeBron Larson, Federal Reserve injects entire Bitcoin market cap in days. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous what the governments are doing. What's going on in politics just now is just blowing my freaking mind just now. Just kind of in the USA, kind of in the UK as well, in Europe, just everything. We're going to hell in a handbasket just now. Federal Reserve has been sneakily increasing the number of dollars in circulation over the last week. The latest injections look set to add as much as 162 billion to the total US money supply. Unbelievable. I've seen the stories a couple of weeks ago about that as well, but obviously they're doing more of it as well. Imran Chowdhury, Link is a cornerstone of DeFi. Link is going to kind of explode even more. Just now we've seen Link, we've looked at it a couple of times, loads of times, to be honest, Chainlink as well. 676 market cap, it's gone down slightly, but I reckon this could 5x within the next couple of months. I reckon this could be up to $3 billion in the next few months, before the end of the year certainly. Well, that is the next few months. So before the end of the year, I reckon this could actually 5x, and probably it will be in the top 10. As Link makes smart contracts communicate with real-world data via APIs. Robert, where can you purchase DeFi? DeFi is a space, so it's not a one particular project. It's an actual space. It's a sector of the crypto community, or the cryptocurrencies. It's a sector within it. So it's not a project you can buy. There's just lots of different ones. So I'll check out DeFiPulse.com and you'll get more information on DeFi. Under 25, Coinbase fee is to make money from people who take advantage of bank transfer purchases to Coinbase and GBP, that which are free and practically instant, and use Coinbase Pro to swap to to Ether, avoiding fees. Purchases to Coinbase and GBP. Right, I'm with you. And David D, hey, appreciate the transparency when you get compensated for affiliates and even sponsored content. In the future, many XRP YouTubers are showing tokens and exchanges without disclosing. I think we have to disclose. I don't see the point in disclosing. I think, who's it saying, this is kind of where I learned a big lesson, DataDash. He came out and apologised. I think it was last year or earlier on in this year. He came out and apologised for not disclosing something he got compensated for. And it was one of the lessons I learned. But I would have done it anyway, to be honest. I'm just that type of person that I believe in honesty and transparency and being authentic as well. But I appreciate you kind of noticing that as well. Thank you. Imran Chowdhury, you need to check out the new DeFi index, just been added. Yeah, so we've been looking at that as well. So if we look at the DeFi index, and we call it the DEFIX, which doesn't sound that good actually. So I'm not going to call it the DEFIX, but that's kind of the name for it. So on the daily, we're up to 97. on that index just now, the DEFX index. And basically what the DEFX index is going to do, why I don't like DEFX, because it sounds like defecation. That's why I don't like it. Or the DEFX, we'll call it the DEFX index. That's what we'll call it from now on, DEFX index. So it's up to 97. So what they're doing is they're collating all the DeFi projects within a space, and they've created an index for them. So it includes the like of Ogre, kind of MakerDAO, and kind of company. I think there's only 5 or 6 companies in it just now. So keep an eye on that. And I've been saying that if you can get into this index just now, so if we can buy into it in some way, and there has to be some way to buy into it, just like you can with the FTSE 100, so it could be like a tracker fund or something like that. If we could find a way to buy into it, then I think this could be extremely lucrative. This could be a brilliant way to make a lot of money in the future, and it's only just starting, and it's on the NASDAQ as well. And to be honest, I was going to research how to buy into it and give you details on it. I've just not had the time to do that. But the house is done now, more or less done. The flat's done, sorry, not the house. The flat is more or less done. We've stopped working on it just now, so I'll have much more time to look at stuff like this. But this could be brilliant. If we can find a way to buy into this through an index fund or something like that, it could be absolutely amazing. Probably better than Bitcoin, probably better than Ethereum. But what it does, it gives you a basket of opportunities. So it's not just relying on one company or one project. So if you buy into Bitcoin, you're relying on Bitcoin to go up. If you buy into the DEFX kind of index, then you've got lots of different companies within that. So it's like buying the S&P 500 or the UK, the FTSE 100, buying an index fund in that. I think it could be amazing. Barbara Taylor, good point about Fed. Daniel LeBron probably had to, because how much money went out in circulation about into crypto space. Buy the dip, which coins are part of the DeFi. There's loads of coins in the DeFi. So we can see here, it gives these are just some of the projects. Ample Fourth Augment, Ogre is one of the big ones. Bancor, B-Token, Compound is one of the big ones as well. MakerDAO, Dharma, DutchX. So some of them listed here. So there's lots and lots of kind of projects. Melon, which has been around for ages as well. Neural Network, Ren is one of them as well. And it gives you a kind of one line. I love this kind of one-liner, what it's about. Ren, a provider of inter-blockchain liquidity for all decentralized applications. Request Network, that's a big one as well. Synthetics, another big one. Uniswap, USDX, VO, WBT, XDAI as well. So there's a lot of information at DeFiPulse.com. So definitely check that out, because it is going to be a big space. Well, it is a big space already. It's just going to get bigger. B, have a good weekend all. You as well, B. Thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. Have a brilliant weekend, mate. 0x was one of Tika's picks. It was indeed. And 0x is in that space as well. And I think it's in the index. In fact, DFX, index, NASDAQ, components, 0x. So just see what others. I know there was Ogre. We'll just see what else was in it. MakerDAO, Ogre, 0x, Imovio. The main developer at Imovio stated that he's glad to see blah 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 blah. Imovio, 0x, Ogre, as well as a handful of other, has not had a list of more than that, so I need to find out the kind of list just now. And my reckoning, if you can't get into the index just now, if there's not an index fund at the moment to get that, then you could just buy these separately. So if you were going to put $1,000 into the index fund or something, you could take $1,000 and put into each of kind of MakerDAO, 0x, Ogre, and the other ones like that. So this might list it here. Right, so DFX list projects including MakerDAO, Ogre, Gnosis, Numerai, 0x, and Imovio. I thought there was another one in that as well, but I would imagine they'll be adding more and more to that, so it's worth keeping up to date with that as well. So that's who's in the DFX kind of index. Mana was a good call yesterday. Chris to like and good weekend. Excellent. Excellent, Chris. And you have a good weekend as well. Thanks for joining me. Barbara Taylor, okay, thanks. Oh, about the DeFi, brilliant. Dated at Substratum. That was at Substratum. I remember that. By the dip, any thoughts on QKC? Is it dead? QKC, we'll have a quick look. QKC, BTC. 65 Satoshi, all-time low. I don't know why I've got that there. I'm just looking at the market cap, 13.4 million. That's the lowest of, obviously the lowest I've seen it. Social, where are they in social? Have they got? They've still got updates coming out. So no, it's all-time low just now, but it's certainly not dead. They've still got. On the daily, it doesn't look good. Short term. 4 hourly. It's slowing down. There's a convergence there between a 50 EMA and a 70 EMA, so it could be coming up for a crossover soon. But we've had that before and it's just come down again. But the good thing about this, with the likes of QuadChain, if you look into it, I've not kind of seen what the team are doing recently and what the roadmap is and how they're meeting the targets and stuff. And the good thing about this is its all-time low as well. There's a lot of projects like this that are all-time low. If they're going to survive the altcoin purge, then this is the time to start accumulating them. But you have to do your due diligence and look into it further. Even if you've looked into it in the past, look into it now, because things might have changed from when you looked at it a couple of months ago. This is why it is so hard to keep track of every single kind of cryptocurrency out there, because they do change so fast. By the dip, $2 donation. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. I'm just surprised that OneChain isn't on there, neither Cosmos. There will be, I would imagine there'll be others in there as well, like Ogre Rep at 8 or less. Ogre, I think, is going to be huge. It's going to just explode as well. Imran, yeah, that was my point regarding 0x and Tika picking it. Since he's in the financial and having that ear from the inside, 0x makes sense as his pick, yeah. Having a great weekend, Steve-O. An enjoyable 1:30 AM here in California. Plus, always nice to hear a Brit. Makes me homesick when I listen to you, haha. Excellent. That's brilliant, Imran. I really appreciate you tuning in and kind of all the news stories as well. Really appreciate that. By the dip, saying thank you. Nels Bull, is Nebula still a thing? Yes, it is. It looks, I was looking at Nebula this morning, it looks as if it's going to jump short term. Oh, it's jumped already. 4 hours, but on the daily, I was looking at it and it looks as if it's going to cross over. So Nebula looks as if it's going to jump. So I've got it marked. I've got a few marked. We'll look at the orange list. Binance. So what was it? 5,139. So here it is here. So I've got it marked there, just about to cross over on the daily. So it looks as if it's going to jump from here as well. So yep, still is a thing. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. We'll have one last look at Bitcoin price. We're not looking at that one. BTC USD, just to finish us off. Oh, it might finish us off. 8,118. There's no know why that's there. Mistake. So just be careful when if you're trading Bitcoin just now. It looks as if it's going to fall further. So if you're going to trade at all, be a short from here, I think, but with a very, very tight stop loss, because you never know. They could bounce off this 8,000, but it looks as if it's going to hit the 8,000 for the 7th time and probably fall through it if it does touch that 8,000 again. So just be careful. Weekends tend to be that Bitcoin price falls, but hopefully we might be in for a wee surprise. Probably less of a percentage chance that we're going to bounce from here, but you never know with Bitcoin, do you? Okay, have a brilliant weekend, whatever you're doing. Until next time, till Monday, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore